Welcome to the Racing Alternative. Can you believe it? It's episode number 11. How we've managed to last this long is another question. And first of all, they seek him here, they seek him there on every Cheltenham preview festival chair. ITV is his second home. His hair once more has grown and grown and grown. Welcome to the programme once again, our standard bearer that is Lord Derbyshire. How are you all been?
I'm very, very good. That was almost Wordsworth-esque, wasn't it?
Yes, Lake District, it was penned actually last week on Ullswater, actually, believe it or not. How has your week been, young man?
Not great, because all the decent racing's been off, and Kelso's off Sunday.
No.
For goodness sakes, that's terrible, terrible. And I've never seen into your kitchen, but now I can.
A dagger through your heart, seeing into my kitchen, and not Kelso being off. We'd like to thank, as always, NRG Bets for sponsoring us, continuing to sponsor us through the dark, dark nights of winter. So thanking them as well. What a show we've got for you today. We've got a question from a viewer. We're going to question bad rides. We're going to start our long-term Cheltenham Festival preview from afar. And, of course, we'll have a look at racing this weekend, although we're not too optimistic that anything's going to be on in any case. But we have to do it as a matter of course. And I'll give you my nap on the all-weather, of course, or whether my backside, as they say. Do you know what I watched the other day, actually? I was doing my writing, Stephen, and
yes.
It came on ITV4, Carry On Screaming. It reminded me of you and your look-alike to Oddbod.
Thank you. I was going to say you look a bit like Dr. What, isn't it, that one? See, I do have a knowledge of that.
What a great film. What a great film.
It's a great film.
Now, we've had sort of plenty of comments in the media, on X, on YouTube, people I bump into regularly in the broadcasting world this last week, suggesting that you are the 21st century version of no less than John McCririck. Now, how do you take that, Stephen? Do you take that as a sort of a criticism that you look like him, sound like him, have the same blunt attitude as him, or that you are the new kid on the block when it comes to promoting this wonderful sport of ours?
And I think the parallels are fairly obvious, aren't they?
Yes, I think they are.
In that I promoted I'm trying to promote the betting ring, and so did John. But quite whether my attitude to life is the same as John's, I think would be open to debate. Let's put it like that.
I think you're more politically correct, and I have not. I have.
Well, I'm not being funny. I think even bloody Bernard Manning was more politically correct than dear old John. That's not to say I didn't like him, but yeah.
And I've seen your lovely wife. She's gorgeous, and she certainly is 7-8 steps up on the booby. So at least you're lucky in that respect.
Yeah, the booby's still knocking you around on Twitter.
I know. How old is she now? 103?
Oh, should be something like that. I mean, maybe she's aged prematurely from being married to John. Look, there was nothing wrong with John. What he did was often revolutionary. I'd rather have him than Julian Wilson, who seemed to have a cactus stuck up his arse most times.
Yeah, the best team in horse racing, John McCririck and John Frankham. Would have been lovely to still have John on the TV. What a man he is. Okay. The snow is falling all around us. There's a cue for a song. And several people have put up and saying, they have in football, especially on the continent, when they have adverse weather, they have a very small window of a winter break. When I suggested this to you on a social platform, you went ape.
Well, yes, I did. Because actually, normally I do a lot of my racing for the year around this time of year. I do like it. Now, there's a few reasons why a break is a shit idea. I'm not going to say, it's a shit idea, and then, not give you any context. So let me just fire some questions at you. Okay. Was this on the back of the Maddie Plales article?
It was part of it, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So there are a few obvious holes in there. Okay. So the first rather big hole is, when do you have your break?
Okay. Well, you look back at history and you see which period of time, whether it's a week or 2 weeks or whatever, has been hit most by adverse weather. And here's another thing. The weather's only going to get worse as we go on through the next few years. We know that. If you believe in global warming.
Thank you, Greta Thunberg.
Well, you know what? Yeah, she's a good friend of mine as well. Her and Maddie, the three of us together, regularly go out for dinner. But I'm just saying, this is only going to go one way. It isn't going to settle down again, is it? It's going to get worse and worse.
No, but I think you would look for technological solutions. So I think this is where the argument becomes unstuck. I can recall abandonments for frost, snow, waterlogging pretty much from the Hennessy all the way to just before Cheltenham. So you've got a 4-month window. So therefore you say, oh, we'll have an enhanced break. Right. And then it's frosty the week after. So then you lose another week. Okay. What does that do for engagement of the sport? I would surmise it does the square root of nothing for the engagement of the sport. What does it do? How do parties like jockeys, stable staff, etc. get paid? Well, they don't get paid. What happens to the races? What happens to the dear old veterans? Are they put out to pasture? Are we going to just lose what is a perfectly good Sandown meet in EB2s last week, for example? I went to Ayr last Friday, was absolutely packed. Are we going to say, oh, screw you, Ayr? I think there's a lot of holes in it, and in a world where it is all nice to say, oh, we need to give people some time to recuperate. I'm sorry, it's not.
Okay, no,
it's just crap.
You make a fair point. I don't think it is total crap, but we are obviously on a lot of things on the opposite end of an argument, and I like that. I love a debate with you. That's what's fascinating about the Racing Alternative. We give it large. Hands up, round of applause to Sandown Park and the staff there. Did an amazing job the other week.
Yes, yeah, I was there. I have to say, it was as cold as air, which is pretty unusual, isn't it?
Or you could have said, was it as cold as Wolverhampton, which is the coldest racecourse in the country, isn't it? Because it's in.
Have you been to Carlisle, you southern softy?
How dare you call me southern, Shirley Bassey? That's disgusting. You call me southern softy? I tell you what, my mum will have your guts for garters if she hears this. You don't want to get involved with her, kid, huh?
So, Sandown.
Yeah.
I think it was Andrew Cooper has been clerking at Sandown for 30 years. He's probably the best clerk in the country. He's a very, very nice man as well. I haven't met him. And they sort of put the high duty condom on the entire course. This doesn't split. And that's basically why racing went ahead. I got there at about 10:30. I thought, this is still in trouble. Yeah. Still in trouble. Yeah. And then, because if you've been to Sandown, you'll know that the grandstand is in front of it's in effect, it blocks the sun. Yeah. And boy was it cold. So yeah, well done to them for getting it on. I think they did a sterling work. And we spend a lot of time criticising people, but didn't they do well?
They did well. Andrew Cooper, one of the best communicators in the game. And when we have adverse weather like we're having at the moment, we're recording this on Friday morning, and obviously Warwick and Kempton are under the cosh from the weather. What we want in racing is communication. We need the website updating regularly, or do it on social media, so that the people who want to attend know exactly what the state of play is and can maybe rearrange what they're going to do for the weekend. We'll look at Cheltenham, our first ever week at Cheltenham, very shortly. We're going to have a look at any novices that have caught our eye. We'd love to know from you any that have caught your eye as well. There's a big question about cash on the racecourse. Oh my God, this has been going on for ages. We will debate that as well. We got a really good letter from one of our viewers. Thank you. And if you do want to write a letter to us, ask us a question, theracingalternative@gmail.com is the place to go. Cheltenham, you know, as you turn the corner into the new year, and everybody's going beforehand, oh, never look at Cheltenham in October, November, December. But everybody does, of course they do. But now you have a legal and moral and ethical right to preview the Cheltenham Festival from here on in. Stephen's on every Cheltenham Festival preview panel there is in the world. And actually he's on Mars as well, believe it or not. And I'll be on a few, but not as many as Stephen, because he's more in demand than me. We are going to have a look very quickly at the novice section, whether it be chasers or hurdlers. And first of all, Stephen, I'd like to know, what have you had anti-post on any novices, if you have done at the Cheltenham Festival? And if not, tell us which ones that have kind of caught the blue blood of the eyes within your veins. What's caught your eyes?
Well, I probably shouldn't say this, but I certainly don't get at all excited about Cheltenham for the next month or so, I'm afraid. I take the more traditional view that this week we got the Classic Chase, next week is the Peter Marsh, the week after is the Cotswold Chase, then it's the Edinburgh National and the DRF, then it's the Towgirl Trophy, then it's the Greenhalls at Haydock, then it's the Racing Post Chase, and then it's the Premier Hurdle at Kelso, and then I sort of enjoy all that. But I have backed one novice.
Oh, he sits back in shock and anger slightly.
I backed Old Park Star after he won at Cheltenham in December. I thought, boy, was he good that day. Really quite good indeed. I thought he absolutely destroyed a good field, and I had a little bit on Betfair, but anyone who knows who bets anti-post markets on Betfair will know you can't get a lot, and I think I managed to get about 30-40 quid on.
Wow.
At an average price of 14-1. And then I topped it up, well, using my friend's account. So he topped it up. Okay. Can't do that.
Okay, that's interesting. So you're thin at the moment on the novice front. I thought the Supreme Novices Hurdle was in a state of flux because Nicky Henderson and Willie Mullins have won this race 9 times in the last 14 years, and although Nicky's got a player at the top of the market, we've yet to see Willie Mullins play his cards. And I thought a couple of English runners had put themselves on the shelf, and had they been trained by a Nichols, a Henderson, a de Bromhead or a Mullins, they'd be higher up for betting. I love Mossy Fen Road. I think he's one of the best jumpers of a hurdle of a young horse I've seen for ages. He's generally available at 16-1. And because it's trained by the Moors, it doesn't get really the ticks in the right columns from everybody. Hurricane Pat, who I love the way he relaxes through his race. This big stride he's got on him. The way he's picked up his rivals, albeit in races that have not been as good as those at the top of the market, but his 2 wins at Sandown have been brilliant. I think if he gets a bit of give in the ground and we get a real helter-skelter run Supreme, I think Hurricane Pat will run well. And Cheltenham owes the Moors, doesn't it? Cheltenham owes the Moors a hurdling winner. Those are the 2 I've backed for the Supreme Novices Hurdle. And Dr. Duménil, who was second in a maiden hurdle at Leopardstown over 2 miles, patently too short for him. I think he'll be aimed at the Albert Bartlett amongst 2 or 3 possibles from the Willie Mullins yard. So those are the ones I've got my eyes on at the moment.
Great
work.
Great
work. Now, yes,
wonderful work.
Yes, I'm going to reverse the menu for today, and Adam, my producer's going to kill me, but I'm happy to do that because I want to bring in a question from a listener, from a viewer, which I think is really interesting and has been a bugbear of mine for absolutely yonks. Oh, and before we do that, a shout out to Frank Buttery, Lord Derbyshire.
Oh, what a man.
Tell us about
what
very quickly.
dear Frank Buttery, he owned the 1977 Bunbury Cup winner, and I had a chat with him at Catterick. He's 105, and he goes to every Catterick meeting.
Yeah.
And he's the most remarkable man. His driver is a sprightly 85, because he can't quite drive now.
Bit like you.
And I've been invited to his 106th birthday party. Now, well done. I'm actually saying well done to 2 racecourses today, which is unbelievable. Well done to Catterick and Go Racing in Yorkshire. Basically said for life, you're going to get him for free.
Brilliant.
And doesn't he deserve it? And he could have a touch in his time as well, dear old Frank. Used to have them in training with Bill Watts in Richmond, who, of course, trained teleprompter, if you're old enough to remember that.
He was bigger than you, teleprompter, wasn't he?
Well, I'm not sure about that, old boy.
He won in the Arlington Million, didn't he, teleprompter?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, give us this question, if you would, Stephen, from our friend Steve Simmons, who's written in this week, a very pertinent subject.
Well, it's been posted on here, so I will attempt to read it. Basically, he wants us to champion cash on the racecourse. He's saying that he can't get his food in cash, he can't buy various things cash, he can't get admission cash, and this card-only culture is annoying him. And I wonder if this is the same Steve Simmons from Cirencester, who used to be a racecourse bookmaker. Do write in and tell us, Steve. So, I'm going to Wolverhampton tonight, God willing. If the weather's all right.
Yeah,
And I can't use that to purchase my tea, or buy a race card,
Disgrace.
or buy a cup of coffee.
Disgrace.
I mean, I think there's a few things about cash, and I'm going to sound like some sort of Russian conspiracist, but it's true. The first thing is, the more you use cash, the less people know about you. Your phone.
You're anonymous, yeah.
Everybody knows where you are, okay? You do a transaction on your phone or with a card, banks can profile your spending habits. There's stuff like banking, and then banking is basically where you allow one bank to have access to all your other accounts, where they will profile you, and that can have an effect on getting credit for a car or even a mortgage. The more you use this stuff,
Yeah.
the less these buggers know about you.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I was talking to my dear old dad last night, actually,
Bless him.
and he's 71.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, remind me to put this in my car." I said, "What's that?" "Oh, it's a telematics thing. I've got 150 quid off for your insurance." I said, like buggery, I'd be having that in my car. A, probably because I do so many miles and drive too fast. But B, the other point is that every bugger wants to know everything about you. They even want to know how many pubic bloody hairs you've got.
Well,
So that's one thing about cash.
Well,
The other thing about cash, and we talk about responsible gambling a lot, is if I'm going to Wolverhampton tonight, and I am taking more than this, but it's really quite easy, there's 100 quid to bet with. Right? 20, 40, 60, 80, I'm 4 races in, and 2 tenors is 100. That's all I'm going to lose. Don't take my cards. I'll take more than that, but you understand what the point is.
Yeah.
The point is that actually, for human beings to have physical stuff in front of them is actually more responsible. I don't know what you think,
yeah,
but
once it's gone,
that
it's
would
gone.
be my take on cash.
Yeah, once it's gone, it's gone, and there's no temptation to go to a cash machine if you don't take your cards with you. I agree. I like your analogy with a Russian dissident or whatever it was. What do you call you now? Stevano Derbyshire Putin should be your new name on the Racing Alternative.
Yes.
But I don't know whether you ever been to Siberia or not, and if you are linked with him, they may well send you there. Now, that would be an experience, but you would find it warm compared to Perth or Wolverhampton. 9 race cards. We have to talk about this, Stephen. Who do they suit? 9 race cards.
I did 9 at Southwell on Sunday. I actually did all 9 because I quite liked the last race.
Did you win on the last race?
And then, yes,
Good boy.
about the third each way.
Wow.
My bookmaking friend laid a rather large bet on the winner. And I did 8 at Wolverhampton on Tuesday. Now, the only people that these races suit are bookmakers and racecourses. That's it. I don't think any racegoer in their right mind, or punter for that matter, wants a 9 race card. Let's face it, a lot of it is crap. It's complete and utter crap. I looked at one race at Wolves. I was like, oh dear. That at Southwell on Sunday was a replacement fixture. There was no need in hell to have that. Absolutely no need to have 9 races. Have 7. You look, you could have 8, but you don't need bloody 9. I mean, it's just watering the product down, isn't it? There's a replacement fixture at Newcastle today, and there's 4 runner race in there. There's several who are under 8 runners. So I think less can be more at some times. The other end of the spectrum, and this really does annoy me, we've got this ridiculous notion of five races in a bumper being acceptable. Now, that is happening at 3 of the next 4 air meetings. Well, do you know what? Just have 3 meetings instead of 4, because, again, it is shortchanging the racegoer. The answer is that the BHA have the power to do this. Say, if you're hosting a bumper on your card, there have to be 6 other races.
Okay, maybe. I find bumpers fascinating. I love...
But 5 in a bumper is not the same.
No, I get it.
7.
I get it. There should be an extra, like a compensationary race. I get it. By the way, if Wolverhampton goes ahead tonight, and we're not too hopeful of it, what a card they've got tonight for their big Friday night meeting there. Very, very interesting indeed. Now, here on the Racing Alternative, what we do is we call people out. Well, not like ITV. I'm a little bit worried to talk about their mates in racing and criticise. We don't do that. We're not like Sky Racing. We don't like to criticise our mates. No, we don't do that. We say it as it is. And if there's a bad ride, we like to call it out. And I believe we might have one each here. But I want to take you back to Tuesday at Wolverhampton, the 2-mile handicap. Lord Derbyshire was there. And when you look at a race, when you dissect a race, when you look at it's the makeup of the race, you try and see what pace is in the race and where each horse is going to run. And that 2-mile low-grade handicap had no pace in it at all. And yet 4 of the runners in a small field were out-and-out stayers. So what did the other jockeys do? They let Kieran O'Neill on the one horse that wasn't guaranteed to stay a really strong run 2 miles, just dictate from the front, really slow fractions. And the jockey I'm most annoyed about, and I didn't back the horse, I don't have any money in this, was Rob Hornby, who should be pushing trains around his loft, Hornby, because he was a bashful boy who missed the break, but that's no problem at all because he had him back up there after a furlong and a half, and he sat on Appier's tail. He sat on Appier's tail for 14 furlongs because he rode Bashful Boy for a turn of foot. Well, Stephen Derbyshire's got more of a turn of foot than Bashful Boy, and predictably 2 furlongs out, he's outpaced, only to run on inside the final furlong to be 2 1/4 lengths strong finishing third. What is wrong with these jockeys that they cannot, if the race isn't going the way they thought in mid-race, they cannot change their tactics? Idiots. Great ride from Kieran O'Neill. The other jockeys should be sent to the slammer.
Well, I had a slightly different take to you, sir.
Well,
Bashful Boy.
Cool, sir, is a big thing for me. Thank you so much. You're such a lovely man.
I am.
You are.
So, Bashful Boy. Oh dear, the producers just sent us a picture of me being a Russian oligarch. Lovely. Bashful Boy just basically missed the kick.
Oh, he did. He rushed him up after a furlong. He was in second place after quarter of a mile.
Yeah, and then he's on the outside, and you don't want to expand too much energy. I did have a financial interest in the race. I backed the John Deal horse, this Circuit Breaker, which was even worse.
Yeah.
Because it broke away in front.
Hold him back. Yeah.
Had the perfect posse.
Yeah.
Had led the time before, and Jack Dace decided to allow Appiah past, and they sedately went round, and this circuit thing was only just beaten.
Describe.
I mean, he's outridden them. Kieran O'Neill wouldn't be my favourite jockey, but he's completely and utterly outridden.
He's not outridden them. He's not outridden
them.
Well, he has. He's done what he had to do on that horse because it served that horse best. The other jockeys have not been outridden. They've not actually ridden a race. Let's get it right. They've not ridden a proper race. Jockeys should be able to change their tactics mid-race because the race maybe is not going the way they thought. If that race is run 10 times, right, and Hornby does the same tactics 10 times again, he loses on all 10 occasions, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, you do get this, especially on the flat, especially around Wolverhampton. By the way, trying to predict these races is jolly hard. I had a bet on at Chelmsford last night, and I thought there's no pace in this race. This will go to the front. This will go second. Another staying hand again didn't work. Well,
occasionally that happens,
so
isn't it? Occasionally that happens.
Yeah. But yeah, look, whichever way we put it, there were a cacophony of unsatisfactory rides. And speaking of unsatisfactory, Wetherby.
Oh no! Here we go. Wetherby calling Mr. Three syllables surname and associated ticketing partners.
Yeah, so you've probably all seen Wetherby abandoned earlier this week. I was going to go. I was sent something by one of my dear friends, which looked like a fairly standard email.
Okay.
But if you read it, it says, we'll refund your ticket price, but not your booking fee. Now, okay, it's 50p a ticket, but do you know what? It doesn't feel right. You can't be charged for going to an abandoned event. Now, in fairness, and I must say this in fairness to Wetherby.
Because you're very fair.
I am a very fair man. I don't think this is Wetherby's call to do that. Okay? I suspect it's the ticketing supplier. So whoever the ticketing supplier is for Wetherby, to be quite frankly, they need to pull their bloody finger out. Now, maybe on this occasion as a gesture of goodwill and to show they're on the side of the racegoer, Wetherby should consider refunding these booking fees.
No, they
just as a gesture of goodwill.
No, they shouldn't consider, Stephen. They should just bloody well do. Do it.
Well, yes.
Get on
it would make them look good, and it would show that they're doing the right thing.
Okay.
And when they're out of contract, I hope they change ticketing supplier, because this thing, and apparently I didn't know this, by the way, but apparently if you go to a pop concert and I don't know, Tina Turner gets struck by lightning.
No,
I mean, that's pretty hard because she's dead.
It can't happen. She's dead, so she can't get struck by lightning.
Or Elton John.
Yeah, he's alive.
Gets gastroenteritis and it's cancelled. Do you know what these buggers do? They still keep the booking fee. It's quite a thing. People are just trying to shaft you whichever way you turn, aren't they?
Exactly.
Desperate.
Exactly. Okay, the Racing Alternative brought to you in conjunction with NRG Bet. Bet is the operative word. What are we having a wager on?
Subscribe to us.
Yeah, subscribe to us big time. We're available on Apple and YouTube and so this tube and that tube and whatever you want to get us, you will find us. Betting. What are we? Hopefully, with the weather relenting, but we're not too sure it's going to happen. What are you backing? Where is that lovely fisticuffs of notes going this weekend, Lord Derbyshire?
It depends what's on. I'll give you. I think it's worth just pointing. Well, just going quickly at Warwick and quickly at Kempton. I think Kempton's more of a chance than Warwick. Looking at this, it has rained over. I've just checked the update while we've been talking. It has rained overnight into Friday. I do like the Pertemps qualifier at Warwick, because I don't think the market has factored in for Red Risk, who won on that Midlands National Day at Uttoxeter in what was heavy ground. That the horse loves heavy ground.
Yeah, loves it.
I thought it was very interesting with Freddie Keighley on. Paul Nicholls is in rare form for January, absolutely rare form, and the horse is now a pound higher than when winning back at Uttoxeter in that slog back in January. I was surprised he was as big as 12 and 14 in the village. I thought Spike Jones, who's won over a fair distance, 3 mile 2 at Fodwell, again got form on testing ground. Yeah. No pretensions of getting in the Pertemps. Some of these have. And Ben Macy's taking 7 off his 10-2. So we'll have, what will he have? It's far too early in the morning, 9-9 on. So I thought Spike Jones had a chance if it goes ahead. Okay. If it doesn't go ahead, I backed, I'll be honest with you, I backed Mr. Chewy Antipost for the Silva Diaco Conti and is now a bigger price. Yeah. I think that horse has a pretty good chance. But I have then double dipped my wick into the Lanzarote hurdle. And don't forget Iberico Lord 2 years ago was 11-1 for the champion hurdle. Yeah, there's a certain... there's a certain class edge there. Now, let's face it, he's shown about as much as me in the London Marathon this year. Hasn't shown a lot at all. But the handicapper is beginning to relent. And what might be the variable that elicits some improvement is him going up to 2 mile 5. I thought at 25 you could throw a dart at him. He may run abominably as well and be retired after the race, but he's not a 25-1 sure because he's got that sort of je ne sais quoi. Okay.
Very interesting. What else? Anything else? Before I give you my...
And that came from nowhere in the same race as well. I thought he looked very progressive at Hereford last time. He's about 10-1, So some big prices to go at. I'm sure you've got one for my bucket and spade. Tell me it's at Newcastle tomorrow, because I think I'll be heading there.
Oh, really? Well, I was hoping the Warwick Classic would go ahead because I've got a really lovely anti-post bet. Because if Warwick goes ahead, which it probably won't, but if it does, it'll be really testing ground. I think Mertown won't run. I think he'll be pulled. And I backed Val Dancer at 22-1. I've had a real wedge each way on Val Dancer. So I'm hoping against hope that this horrible weather doesn't hit Warwick, but I don't hold that much hope. And the 3:10 at Newcastle, you knew where I was going. You knew where I was going. A 0-60, extended 10 furlong on the handicap. There's a horse here that caught my eye last time out, and you probably were at the track when Time Turner finished 4th at Wolverhampton last time out, given a very naughty ride, runs in the amateur jockeys handicap, and who is Ed Bethel booked? None other than Cheese and Onion. Simon Walker got the visor on for the first time off a mark of 59. If he can't win that, then I tell you what, I will go up to Lancashire and shave off Stephen's hair completely for a number 1 haircut.
You're coming up to Lancashire, aren't you?
For the Peter Marsh, young man. For the Peter Marsh, no less. On the 17th.
Bloody.
So we'll see everybody at Haydock Park, hopefully.
Yes. Come and see us. Come and see us at Haydock Park. Make sure you read my column in the race card.
Yeah, in the race card. And come and have your pictures with us. £7.50 each. Any other business, Mr. Derbyshire?
No. Hopefully next week there's a semblance of normality. It was quite good racing next week. We've of course got the old Victor Chandler at Ascot. God knows what it's called now. We've got the Peter Marsh at Haydock, and it's Winter Million weekend. So we've got the Fleur de Lis at Windsor, haven't we?
Yeah, which should be at Clairefontaine, shouldn't it, really?
Well, yeah, but it was a nice race, actually. I saw dear old John Hales just before
It was a nice
just before he deceased. It's a nice thing.
Stephen, it's good to see your beautiful face, as always, from the man who never drives past a Greasy Spoon Cafe. Have a wonderful weekend. I hope racing is on for you and on for me and on for everybody. We are the Racing Alternative. We shall be back next week, not only with the Racing Alternative, but we'll see you, hopefully a lot of you, at Haydock Park for the Beta Marsh. Until then, bon voyage.
Bon voyage. Whoop, whoop.